Alright guys, so seeing how this year is almost completely over, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on some of the fragrances that I wore this year. These are my top 4 fragrances that I wore in the 4 seasons of 2024. So basically one fragrance for each season that I wore the most. So we'll start off with winter. Last year around this time, I was wearing a lot of Prada Luna Rossa Black. Now, this fragrance is one of my favorite designer fragrances of all time. Basically, it's like a musky, vanilla, slightly aromatic type of scent. It's a very nice cold weather fragrance. Prada really knocked it out of the park when they made this back in 2018 or whenever it came out. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I have a bottle of it in my collection because it's one of my favorite cold weather signatures. I wear this all the time. Well, I haven't been wearing it that much recently, but I tend to wear it a lot in the cooler weather. And I've had this bottle for around 2 years now. It was actually a gift to me. So I really appreciate this scent. The main notes that you're going to get is like a tonka bean, amber, and musk. And this kind of smells like, it has a very unique type of smell. It smells a little like if you mixed vanilla ice cream and like rubber. I know that sounds kind of strange, but just picture like a creamy vanilla ice cream mixed with like very clean rubber. That's kind of what this smells like. I think it's beautiful. But yeah, that was the fragrance that I wore the most in the winter was Prada Luna Rossa Black. Fantastic scent. I got a lot of mileage out of it. And the one I wore most during the spring was this one, Mercedes-Benz EDT, just original Mercedes-Benz for men. So this is a much fresher fragrance than the previous one. This is a very ozonic, violet-based fragrance. It's got that wet concrete type of smell. The main notes in here are obviously they're going to be like violet leaf, galbanum, and patchouli, I think, or some kind of floral note. I think it's galbanum, and maybe a couple other flowers in here. But this is basically just a clean, office-friendly, masculine fragrance. It smells quite a bit like Platinum Egoiste by Chanel. Actually, this smells, in my opinion, I think I said this in my review of it, that it smells like a perfect cross between Dior Fahrenheit and Platinum Egoiste, minus the sort of gasoline petrol note that you get in Fahrenheit. But yeah, so this is basically just a fresh, clean, like I said, wet concrete type of violet smell. It's very, very pleasant. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but it just smells fresh and crisp. Feels like kind of a freshly laundered suit. The patchouli and the dry down gives it a bit of a clean laundry aesthetic. I mean, sorry, not aesthetic, but like a clean laundry type of smell. And I just really like this one. Unfortunately, I haven't used a whole lot of it. I mostly just wore it in the spring, but it's a good fragrance. You can wear year round, all 4 seasons of the year. And the bottle design's pretty nice too. Oh, did I mention it's cheap as well? This is like $40 for a 100 ml bottle, 120 ml. So if you can, get your hands on Mercedes-Benz EDT. Underrated. Okay, moving on to the summer. Um, Now, I don't have that many summer fragrances actually, but the one that I wore the most this year and probably my favorite is Rasasi Hawass. Uh, this was like the first fragrance I made a video of on this channel, I think, or one of the first. And I pretty much, I mean, I didn't fall in love with it at first sniff, but I always thought it was good. And the more I wear it, the more I like this one. This is basically Invictus. It's fresh, it's fruity, it's sweet, aquatic. It's like the main notes in here you're going to get are going to be plum, uh, ozonic slash watery notes, and then a nice like ambery type of base. It's beautifully balanced. Like it's got that masculine fresh like type of shower gel vibe with the ambroxan in the base. That's what I meant before. Not amber, but ambroxan. It has a very strong ambroxan type of like blue fragrance vibe, but mixed with that fruity sweetness from the, Invictus. And that's basically what Invictus is. It's almost like a blue fragrance, but it has that aquatic fruity type of nature about it, and that is what this has. And obviously the juice is a beautiful purple color, so I definitely like that. I wore a lot of this summer, at least a decent amount. There's a pretty good dent in there. And that's mostly from me wearing it this year. The year I first got it, I didn't wear it that much, but I did wear it. I did use it quite a bit last year, which I'm happy about, and I hope to use it a lot more. Um, this is also, I think, the least, as of right now, it's probably the least expensive fragrance out of these four. I think you can get it for, um, I saw it for like $35 on Amazon a few weeks ago, I think, but the price may or may not have gone back up. I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with that. But if it's gone up, it's not anywhere. I'll tell you this. It's not anywhere near where it was like a couple years ago when I bought my bottle. I bought my bottle for like $54, which is way too much money. But the prices have gone down since then as they have released more flankers. Like they've released Hawas Ice last year, and then this past year they came out with Hawas Black. So, and I heard they're doing another one called Fire in 2025. So I think as this line gets more flankers released into it, the price of the original will probably creep down. Actually, it already has crept down, and I hope that it stays that way with all the new fragrances that Versace is putting out. Anyway, but this is a really great summer fragrance, and the one that I wore the most in the summer. All right, next up, we're going to the fall, the last season of the year, and my personal favorite season. The fragrance I wore most for fall is none other than Spice Bomb Infrared by Viktor and Rolf. I love this stuff, man. It's, in my opinion, this is the best out of the entire Spice Bomb line. I like it a little bit better, actually, than Spice Bomb Extreme. Well, granted, I haven't given Spice Bomb Extreme a totally fair wearing. I've only ever tried it in a department store. But this is good, man. This is beautiful, like red fruits, pepper, and benzoin in the base. Those are the main notes in there. And benzoin, if you don't know what it is, it's a type of resin. It's like tree resin. It has a bit of a vanilla, cinnamony type of smell. This is actually, if you want to experience the note of benzoin, this is probably the best fragrance, or one of the best fragrances to do it with, because it's just so prominent in here and so prominent in the dry down, that benzoin note. But this basically just smells like a spice bomb with cinnamon and pepper. It's hot, and it has those red fruits to give it that full body sweetness, combined with that sweet base. This is a very sweet, spicy vanillic fragrance, and it's just beautiful, man. It's a gorgeous fall scent. I would say this shines the best in the fall, and winter as well, but mostly in the fall, when like the season's just starting to change, and people are like like pumpkin spice, and like people buy those like scented brooms and whatnot, like that type of stuff. Like that's really big in the fall, people getting into spices or whatever. I don't really know what I'm trying to say right now, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. This is a perfect fragrance for that season because it's so spicy and heady. And yeah, I love it. And those were the four fragrances I wore the most this year, man. I'll see if I can show them to you in order. See if I'm gonna exercise my hands. Yeah. Starting in the winter, we have Prada Luna Rossa Black. In the spring, we have Mercedes-Benz EDT. In the summer, Versace Hawas. And in the fall, Spice Bomb Infrared. And this would be a fantastic four fragrance collection right here, because you have all of your basic needs covered. You have a fragrance for the office, you have a fragrance for summer weather, or just a casual everyday fragrance in general. You have a fragrance for dates, and then you have a fragrance that's kind of a bit of a, I guess you could call this a clubbing fragrance. Like, I didn't use it for clubbing, but you can because it's strong enough. So you pretty much have all of your essentials covered right here in this four fragrance collection. So yeah, I would totally, would 100% recommend those four fragrances to anyone, any man. They're great. Take my word for it. They are amazing designer fragrances. I think they're quite good for the price as well. I mean, the Prada and the Viktor and Rolf are obviously going to be a bit more expensive than the Mercedes-Benz and the Versace, but in my opinion, they are definitely worth it. So that's just me sharing my top 4 fragrances for the year of 2024. And hope you had an amazing year, and here's to a great 2025.